Match number 2 in Group D, everybody. Infernal Shrines is the map. Sweden goes up against Denmark. We already had some fun in chat over here. So as you can see over on the red team side, we have the captain, Soyboy69, which is apparently Chiaseka. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Never really knew how to do that. But it was quite funny because when he joined the lobby, the first thing that happened is the admin immediately kicked him out again. It was like, what is that kind of troll account? And somebody was like, no, this is actually our player. And they're like, ah, okay, so it's a Smurf account. But then they said, Captain Soyboy. It's like, I never thought I heard that again. So these words will never be spoken again. Captain the Soy Boy. But yeah, so either way, we got Sweden against Denmark. We have our next best of 3 match here in Group D of the European Nations Cup qualifier. The Swedes have already played a best of 3 series earlier and were able to decide it against the UK with a 2-0. So if they are now able to also take down Denmark, then that would pretty much guarantee them a spot in the top 2 to get out of the group. They have been, of course, playing pretty well here. I mean, it's Infernal Shrines now as the starting map, but these guys, they are one of the favorites. They're the favorite team in Group D. With us fielding 16 teams now in this European Nations Cup qualifier, split into 4 groups of 4. In every group, you have one team that is a clear favorite. There's like 1 or 2 groups where you had maybe 2 teams that could try and contest for first spot, but generally speaking, with the seeding happening, you always have at least one top dog in the group and then a couple of teams that are more in an underdog position trying to cause an upset. And this group isn't really an exception there. The Swedes are insanely strong. They had multiple teams sign up for the Nations Cup here, and they had to play their regional qualifiers to determine which team would represent Sweden then in this tournament. And you can see the team here. We had even Breeze and a few guys field the team, but they weren't able to take them down. I think they didn't even win a single map playing against the Swedish team that you see here right now. We start things off with Jojo with Blaze, Diablo on the other side for Lauber, so everybody just going for their front line and for their tanks. Now keep in mind that this is only the first stage of the tournament, so afterwards the top 8 teams will progress to the second phase of the European qualifier. Full round robin between the top 8 teams, and then the top 4 out of that round robin, they will qualify for the offline event in Berlin at the 10th and the 11th of June this year. And if you guys want to visit, entrance is free. The event takes place at the Experian in Berlin. Super cool venue, relatively new and in the middle of Berlin as well, right at the Alexanderplatz. So if you are looking to maybe spend a weekend in a city in Europe, in Berlin, and then watch some Heroes of the Storm, shake hands with players, casters, and watch the action with like-minded fans, this is the perfect opportunity. You can find links in the description if you want to have a look at all the details. You can check that out. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really great. So again, 10th and 11th of Berlin, and also there's a link to the Experian that you can have a look at in the description if you want to see a couple of pictures, for example, from previous events that they've hosted to get an idea of what the venue looks like. But in game number 1, as all of these teams are of course hoping to attend the event eventually, we now get Rhaegar and Tychus for Infernal Shrine, so again another Odin transformation is happening. And on the left side we get Dehaka and Hanzo. It's pretty similar to what Sweden did in some of the previous games as well. Obviously, we have also some high-level players over here, not only on the side of the Swedes, but if you look over to the Danes. We didn't quite revive Alex the Pro G here, but we got Crosby in, so a name from the good old HGC days, and maybe Houdini as well. And Crosby with Nezebo in game number 1. It's already getting spicy on the first map of the best of 3 series. Mephisto and Anduin for the Swedes. Guys, let's go. It's Sweden against Denmark in Group D of the qualifier, the Nations Cup qualifier here in Europe. Game number 1 on the left, the Swedes in blue with a Skog on Mephisto. I love that we are adhering to the country flags here. The Swedes in blue, Denmark in red. Heading on Anduin, we got Gia on Hanzo, Lauber on Diablo, and Svamgrotta is playing Dehaka. Over on the right side of the map, it's Denmark with the legend on Tychus, Soyboy, aka Gia. On Rhaegar, we got Crosby, Nezebo, Baby Houdini on Blaze, and Chinatown is playing Johanna. Let's go. Game number 1, Spider build with the Widowmakers for our boy Crosby. It's so funny to just see some of the guys coming back for these events. Lauber, for example, was more or less retired, and then he came back for Meta Madness, and now he also signed up for a team for the Nations Cup and is actually representing Sweden here. So super, super cool to have them back here. But the Swedes, they are still the favorite in the series. We get some big names on the side of the Danish team, and we'll see if they can take this. It's actually an interesting group because you have some very strong Danish players that could make it out of the group, but then again, you have the Ukrainian team also that we haven't seen yet in the group. And that's going to be pretty interesting, the battle between them. Always assuming that there is no insane upset that puts even the Swedes into question getting out of the group, but yeah, time will tell. For now, it's a kill against Rega, so he's already down. Rega is dead, and that is the first blood in game number 1 of this best of 3. Svamgrotta topside against Baby Houdini down at the bottom of the map. Now that they have the numbers advantage for a few seconds, we have the neutral camp attacked by the Swedish team. The IKEA boys here taking a small lead in experience, but something that they can, of course, build on. A lot of money picks involved as well. That's what we want to see here. Fantastic. And then in the meantime, we have in the middle our 2 tanks going for a bit of a staring contest. Lauber adopted the skin pattern of Breeze. It's all about the toxic Diablo. That's the one that they got. And then again, we got the Soy Boy. It's actually no surprise that he got killed. If he played with his main account, he would have lived there. But I mean, if you call yourself Soy Boy, then you are obviously gonna become a prime target, especially for someone like Diablo, who just loves to bully people and push them around all day long. So that's just you painting a bullseye right on the top of your forehead. And that's what happened. Now camps are taken. Bit of an early one now also on the top left as they're going for the Shaman camp. Objective is going to be announced in 5 more seconds. And with that, we now have on the right side of the map the same move being made by the legend and Rega. Okay, down to the bottom of the map now. We got Chinatown doing his thing here. We get the first objective announced. Teams taking their camps, bit delayed here by Henning at the top left. No surprises here. Stacked coming together for Crosby on his level, on his baseline. Also on the level 1 has the Hex Crawlers on level 4. And one of the goals is, of course, to try and make it into the late game with Nazebo and try and turn him into an absolute powerhouse here. But objective number 1 is an Arcane Punisher that could help you to claim the first fort in this game. Now, with 1-2-0 on the kill counts, who is going to lock in the next one? Is the red team able to pull ahead here? Now, their problem is obviously that there's a global on the side of the blue team, and with the Haka at the top already dealing with the Shaman, this means that he can not only join the team at the bottom of the map any moment now, but he can also push the lane out a little bit further, get them level 7, and then maybe even start damaging the top fort if they decide to change their MO. But with a nice zombie wall, it is Anduin that goes down. They're looking for the counter kill, and they get it as Tychus gets destroyed. The fight continuing as the Swedes are taking control again, 25 stacks to 20. Still a lead for the blue team here. But maybe Denmark able to get a few of these minions killed. It's not going to be enough. They're 10 behind. Seems like the first objective will end up in the hands of Lauber and his team, and indeed he does. So, yeah, here we go. Top side, bit of damage done by the camp after the Haka moved down to the bottom of the map. Baby Houdini obviously rotating over, and down to the bottom of the map we have the Punisher doing his thing. The wall already destroyed. These zombie walls from Crosby are, by the way, on point. He made sure that they got the kill on Anduin earlier, and he's also trapped a few more heroes. Now, there weren't any consequences to that. They couldn't take Diablo down, for example, in the last encounter. But still, Crosby's zombie walls so far have really been pretty solid. So we got on level 7, the spider build continued. Ooh, Svamgrotta with another connect here. A bit of body blocking even happening, and Baby Houdini is barely making it out. As Svamgrotta did good work. Talking about doing good work. They are apparently trying to go for the fort and attacking the camp at the same time, which forces Denmark to split their forces. They are going to take some damage down here, but they won't be able to do both. Defend the fort and take the camp. So another mercenary camp claimed by the Swedes, who are currently painting huge chunks of the map blue in an attempt to get that on. Yeah, on the left side, hits are in. We got the next camp claimed, which helps them, of course, to pull ahead and grab a level 10. Durance of Hate is in. Light Bomb Engage is now possible for the blue team in the middle of the map. Another zombie wall to zone Lauber off a bit. Skoke is coming in too for added damage. 72 stacks now for Nazeebo. It's not too bad. Again, at level 10 now. So he's doing okay if his goal is to go for the Vile Infection stacks and hit that goal. But yeah, top side, still our 1 versus 1. Nobody taking a big advantage there just yet. Lauber gets once again focused, and this time it's Anduin who has to help him out. But that also means that they can make another play as they're trying to go for Mephisto. Crosby with the ult came in with a Ravenous Spirit, but not enough to take Skok down. Blessed Shield also used, he pretty much used everything in the last fight with the exception of Odin and the bunker, which they didn't need. But those are big cooldowns that were burned. And Hanzo has rotated bot side to put even more pressure onto the fort. And this one is eventually going to fall. That, on the other hand, didn't do a lot for him. So, yeah. For the time being, we have a bit of an equilibrium. It's 2 kills to 1. The Swedes trying with the Durance of Hate, and it barely misses, but the Light Bomb works out for them. The Legend dashing out with Odin, and Tychus still alive. Denmark is really putting up a fight here. Sweden might be the top dog in the group, but the Danish team is totally willing to work on an upset. They are trying to shut them down from start to finish, and they're looking for another kill. They go for Mephisto, and they might be able to get him here. Skok is low, barely makes it out of the battle. Diablo with another approach as he's trying to shield them too. And Skok, yeah, he is really dancing on knife's edge here. And without the help of Lauber, he might have fallen in that encounter. Svampgrotta moving out of the fight again. But look at Denmark. They've still been able to hold on to their fort. Now, there's another minion wave, and I don't know for how long they can really shield it, but they are making sure that for as long as possible it will stay in play. With Dehaka on the blue team side, they are going to lose out on it now, I would assume. Blue team is already starting to take control over the top shrine and getting a bit of a head start, but Svampgrotta can easily burn this wave down, escort the minions in, and then take the fort, which will help them in the long run. Doesn't even have to commit, honestly. It's the minion wave alone that will already seal the deal. 112 stacks for Nazeebo. He's at 15,000 damage. Rhaegar is at an even 5k. And the red team has now taken over topside. Odin is soon going to be up again. Needs another 8 seconds. Oh, nice light bomb interrupt. Oh, and the arrow. What a play. Damn. That was actually really strong. So not only did they just get the light bomb interrupt on Nazeebo, that was more a mistake on Crosby, not realizing what was going on there, but the arrow also traveling through, not hitting Nazeebo as he died before, and then instead hitting the backline. Check this one out. Like, really interesting fight. So here's a light bomb, Ravenous Spirits get used, gets immediately interrupted, the arrow goes through and then hits the backline and leads to another kill, in this case Tychus. So the Swedes with a highly successful team fight. 4 kills to 1. Huge play also from Lauber with that lightning breath that roasted the backline. Bottom fort has of course fallen as already predicted. And now at the top side we have the second Punisher claimed. This is the Mortar Punisher. So no big frozen Punisher would help them to maybe even push this towards the keep. But if they can take a second fort down, that would of course be fantastic from the perspective of the IKEA boys. Yeah. Level 13 talents, they are in, which gives us also the ice block. That would have been pretty helpful for Nazeebo in the last fight too. And with that, here's the destruction of the fort, the second structure removed, and Dehaka is again sitting right there at the side. Yeah, good game from the Swedes. I mean, again, they are looking strong. They have a 1.5 level lead over the red team now. Looking very good here. Unless we have some late game shenanigans coming through with our boy Nazeebo. It's going to be a bit tough. Light bomb again. Bunker forced as a result. And they're already trying to make a play here. The Haka came in. Yeah, the Durance of Hate. and they kill everything. That was ruthless, absolutely ruthless play by the Swedes. They go for the triple kill. Good move by Jojo, saving Nazeebo, but what a fight. Check this one out again. This one was huge. I mean, they come in, look at this, Durance of Fate connects with 3, then the barbecue, and they're just coming in with everything they have, murdering 3 people, 7 kills to 1, and exploiting the choke point position of Denmark to the maximum. Great plays by Lauber throughout the game. Skog obviously with a fantastic ult in this one as well. And now another fort will fall as a result. They have a level 16, the double pull for Anduin is in. And yeah, that gives us a 2-level advantage, a talent lead, and of course puts Nazeebo more into a pressure position. Yeah, you see, spray game not really on point. I mean, yeah, no. You're going too much standard for me, boys. I really think that you have to up your game a bit for map number 2, because this is just not the level that I'm expecting here. The mount game of Crosby is at least not too shabby, going in here with the treasure goblin. But when I look at legend here, I mean, look at this mount. This is just shit. Don't you have something a little bit more epic? Maybe something unique that you could use here. Something really epic and unique. I could accept that, but I'm not sure that I can accept this particular amount. Money Pig, you know, that's something where we can all get behind. I mean, this one, bacon shitting money. The rumors are still persisting, by the way. You can't, like, for some reason they always pop up again that if you ride the money pick, that you actually do around 5% more damage in those games. They have been very persistent ever since the mount got added to the game, and so far nobody has really disproven it. So, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying there's people talking about it and it hasn't been disproven. So, you make your own conclusions. Do your own research, boys. 16 will be ready for Denmark though. They will have their level 16 for this one, and that is going to be, I don't want to say the last fight that they're going to get here because they're not that far behind, but it's going to be the last fight before level 20 that they can play out on even talents, I would think. So we'll see. Look at Chinatown. That is a unique mount. That's very rare. It's absolutely epic. Epic, unique, and rare. That's what we want. So I gotta say, the legend should definitely talk to Chinatown a little bit and see if you can maybe get access to that. Either way, here's the play. Level 16 again on both sides. Look at the stacks that we're getting for Nazeebo, by the way. Is at 183 already, so Violent Infection is definitely in the cards. But for that, they have to survive long enough, and there's still 4 levels that they have to bridge until they hit their Storm Talons. So here we go. At this point, the attack is in on Blaze, and he goes down. Very good isolation from the Haka. The coordination of the Swedes is absolutely on point here. Stellar performance, particularly by Svamkarota, who has now taken 4 kills. He killed 4 heroes in that encounter. They have a Frozen Punisher, and this could be game. They will get that keep 100%. They are going to try and push for more with level 20, which they will grab soon. They will also hold a talent advantage over the opponent's team. Yeah, Chiazeka here gets away, but this is just a disaster for the Danish team. They did such a great job, but now they're getting eaten like cheese Danishes. And this is not, this is not going to end well for them. Now they get most of the heroes back for the defense, but I still don't see this happening, especially now that Rhaegar's in trouble. Self-Ancestrals will still die, I assume, and yes, he goes down. The dog has been beaten, and, well, do they get Mephisto? No, they don't. Well, they might get him now. But yeah, even with him dead, it doesn't make a difference, since also Tychus has been destroyed, and this is the end of Blaze, and it will be the end of game number 1. Unfortunately for Crosby, he never gets to level 20, he never gets to unleash the Violent Infection on the opponent's team. The Haka trying to get closer to him, Swamgrota. A dinosaur on a mission, but not able to drop him. The core is falling slowly and steadily as the rest of them is fighting through here. 70%. And the Haka actually... Oh, they get Jojo. Yeah, that one hurts. Diablo's down 44%. I don't think they can end this here. 44% on the core. So maybe he's going to get to the Violent Infection after all. But it's still a 2-level gap that they got to bridge. So, yeah. 12 kills? Just think about a comeback for a second. Nazeebo hits level 20, and then the team starts the comeback. That would just be insane. If that happened, that would be totally crazy. It would be the comeback of the year thus far. Looking at the damage on the other hand, we have 38,000 for Nazeebo. So, yeah, he's looking good. Same time, 46,000 for Hanzo, who hasn't died yet. Hanzo and Dehaka are the only ones in the game that have not fallen yet. Dehaka, by the way, has more damage than Nazeebo, the top damage dealer on the Danish team. And even Diablo is looking real powerful here with the 38,000 that he brings to the table. Can they bridge the gap? Can they get to 20? Nazeebo, it's a little bit sad, honestly, that he didn't go for... I mean, just imagine him going for the Voodoo Ritual. Oh, that arrow is not going anywhere. Voodoo Ritual on level 4 with 206 stacks. He would soon take over the main tank role for the team. Fights continue. You don't want to battle this one out. Ravenous Spirit, and they're trying to force them back as best they can. Only level 19 and a big push at the bot lane with the camp and catapults. Meaning the catapults are going to grief this one, as they usually do. Nothing gets me so tilted. I talk about this nearly every second game right now, but nothing gets me as tilted as the AI on these stupid catapults whenever there is one of the Khaldor cams involved. It is unbelievable. It's just embarrassing. Spaghetti code here. 222 stacks. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, Crosby, he's gonna rack up the numbers, and they're gonna get to level 20. They're gonna get to level 20. So, yeah. That's gonna happen. For sure. Can he make a difference, though? That's the question. And of course, the Dehaka is now reigning supreme at the bot lane. He can push this lane out while everybody else has to go for the objective in the middle of the map. Talking about the objective, spawning in 17. So, yeah, everybody's getting ready. Camp at the top lane is gonna push for another keep, so they have some pressure there. Nothing that can be done on the other side. Both camps have been taken by the Swedish team. And here we go. We got level 20. Vile Infection is in. Just as a bit of an info. 42,000 damage for Nazeebo as he gets Vile Infection. 43,000 damage. Let's be generous here. So he's at 43,000 damage before Vile Infection is a thing. Let's have a bit of a look of how much he can do in this team fight. The action is already in. Svampgrotta is on the core. That's the reason why Blaze moves back. Yeah, he's trying to defend as everybody else is making a move here. Good arrow. Ice block being used. Catapults are still on the core, and we have Blaze coming back in, so they leave it up to the minions to deal with the catapults. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if that was the smartest choice, because the core is now down to 28%, and another one is moving in. He should have probably stayed a little bit longer. Nazeebo not nearly doing as much damage as he needs to, but this is a pretty good start coming in with the Ravenous Spirit. It's just not good enough. Up to 50,000 damage now, and there's the double kill against the red team as they lose not only Tychus but also Rhaegar. They're zoning Crosby out even further. Yes, he's getting good damage in for the team, but it's nothing that can change the course of the battle. Blaze falls as well. The core is soon going to be under attack again as two more catapults are going to make their way in. And since only Nazeebo is surviving here, it's Crosby. Henning, no mercy. Look at Henning. Henning is just saying, nope, not going to happen. I am not here for this little party that you guys have going on. I'm coming in and just taking him down. Serious business. We're gonna kill everything now. And that is game. 20 kills to 3. Team Sweden with the lead against Denmark in Group D. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Sweden against Denmark. Towers of Doom is the second map. The Swedish team has taken the lead. Good series so far, I gotta say. Denmark at the end couldn't really hold a candle to the Swedes, but they definitely gave it a good shot throughout the game, and especially in the early and the mid game they were able to keep up here. But of course we are looking at more or less an all-star team for the boys in blue. Now keep in mind that we have a rule adjustment for the Nations Cup. You cannot play a hero more than once within a series, so the 10 heroes that were played on the first map cannot be played again. That's the only rule here for the group stage, for the qualifiers, for the regional ones. And we'll see if we have to adopt that a little bit also then for the offline final. There's a crowdfunding that you can also check out in the description of the video. There's a link, and any support there is very much appreciated. As you can imagine, hosting offline events in Heroes of the Storm right now is pretty expensive. It's much harder to organize and set up than just simple online tournaments. Even that can be a stretch at times, so community support would be really appreciated there. There's a couple of goals for that as well, for the crowdfunding. So if you're interested to have a look and maybe support events like this and help us to organize more in the future, then check out the video description and the crowdfunding link. Lucio and Brightwing are banned now for our second game, and Towers of Doom is of course always an interesting map because it allows you to play heroes like the Vikings and some others and really just mix the draft up a bit. We had Dehaka banned, Dehaka played on the last map, so he's not available on this one. Falstad still an option if you're looking for globals. Really curious what the Swedes are going to do. If any one of the... it's actually... Okay, so Crosby, I was about to say, if anybody is going to pick a bit of a crazy hero for the side of Denmark, it's going to be Crosby, but he comes in with his Sylvanas, and therefore, if we're going to get an X-Factor pick, a bit of a curveball thrown, then it's going to come from the Swedes. I already highlighted earlier how Svamgorda is actually somebody that will play Murky when he can. I don't think that he is going to do it here on Towers of Doom, and not necessarily against Denmark either. But they are still the team that I would expect to occasionally make a bit of a crazy pick if they get a chance here. So keep this just in the back of your mind. We had some crazy games already played in the group stage. I mean, we had Shogal, we had Valera, we had a lot of... This is the beauty of having a group stage where you have big gaps in skill between teams. There's the downside that a lot of the matches are one-sided and will end with a 2-0, but since we open this up for everybody to participate, we want as many teams as possible to participate here. It's of course the inevitable result, and it's quite fun. All of the teams that came in as underdogs came in with very clear goals and all that fun and enjoyed playing in the tournament from the feedback that we got so far. But yeah, it allows the top teams when they're going up against a weaker opponent to sometimes go a bit for a crazy pick. Now, definitely not saying that the Danish team is a weaker opponent, but I would not put it past it, the Swedish team, to occasionally go for an out-of-the-box pick after all, especially if Svamgorda here. But of course, they want to take first place in the group, and Denmark is not an easy opponent to beat. So we'll see what they're going to do. Muradin and Ural, very strong front line already for the Danes. Zeratul getting banned, and on the other hand, Denmark with a final ban, they take care of Malthael. Don't want to go up against those last rights here. With a double pick incoming for Sweden. What's it gonna be here? What are we gonna get from them? What is Svamgorda playing? What are we getting for Gia? Henning with the support. Stukov could be played. We could go into a Malfurion pick. He goes for Stukov, Lurking Arm follow-up after Maiev, Tether and Nubarak stun. Even with Leoric and his Entomb, this is going to work quite well. So they have a pretty disgusting lineup, honestly. Maiev is already a beast, and she can tether heroes straight into the Lurking Arm. You have a Nubarak with a stun setup, you have the Entomb from Leoric, the Drain against Urel and also Muradin. So a very powerful draft for the blue team. The Swedes, though, go up against Malfurion and Trace on the other side. It's been a while since we've seen a Tracer here. Chiazeka is getting Malfurion with his Soyboy account over here. It's still funny to me earlier. Captain Soyboy. This time they actually captain Chinatown, so apparently they are switching things up a bit on who's drafting for the team. Final pick though, Gia for Sweden. We still need a range damage dealer. And it is Li Ming looking for resets in game number 2 of this best of 3 here at the Nations Cup qualifier. Ladies and gentlemen, Sweden against Denmark.
Prepare yourself
Game number 2, the Swedes in the lead as Svamgrotta is playing Leoric for the team. We have Henning on Stukov, Lauber on Nubarak, and Gia on Li Ming with Skok using My F in game number 2. On the right side of the map, the Legend playing Tracer. We have Crosby on Sylvanas, Chinatown on Murden, Soyboy is playing Malfurion, and Baby Houdini on Urel, the Space Goat. So, let's see what the Danish team can do here on Towers of Doom. Always a crazy map. I mean, this is the comeback map in the game. Late game is everything here. Once you get late game momentum, you're going to be very, very tough to stop. And that's what the teams are always looking for here. But this is probably the map in the pool that has seen the most and the craziest comebacks in Heroes of the Storm over the history of the game. Yeah, well, the first thing that happens, though, talking about history, is Crosby getting killed. So, yep. The former HTC player is running straight into the middle and gets murdered by the burst damage of Li Ming. Job well done from the Swedes. They lock in the first blood and they have taken half the tower HP away. So a great start for them as the game pops up. Now, with 1 minute into the game, we're going to have the pumpkin spawn, and with the aggression that we're already seeing from Team Sweden, I'm curious if they at least think about invading the opponent's pumpkin camp and taking the mercenaries here. So far, it doesn't seem like it. Seems like everybody is just going for their own camp. Tracer and Malfurion are already sitting at the side. Now, if you pull that off, that's obviously always great, but it's also a risk that you are taking. If you are being defeated and your opponent gets both camps, maybe got a kill too, then you are going to be in trouble. But they are making their way over because the red team is just too slow. They are not fast enough to take their own camp in the same time frame, so all of a sudden this becomes a battle after all. Already a zoning happening here. Crosby again dead, second time that he is now dead in this game. 2 kills to 0 for the blue team, and they are claiming that camp. Damn, that really hurt. I thought it would be an even exchange between the two teams as we saw them move to their respective camp, but instead we now have 6 pumpkins in total for Sweden. They're destroying the wall and they're starting to destroy the red team too. So this is not a good start for Denmark. Not at all. Denmark is struggling. They're taking damage on their bell tower at the bottom of the map. That dive by Nubarak on the other hand put him more in trouble than the opponent's team. But Tracer gets wrecked by My F. Nice, nicely done. Okay, same time, Baby Houdini coming in from behind. They're attempting to... Well, Urel is also dead. Guys, this is getting a little bit out of hand. This is a 1.5 level lead that we now got for the blue team. They have 4 kills to 0. And that is... let's call it a problem for Denmark. Now, let's not forget, this is the first match that the Danish team plays here in Group D. For the Swedes, it is their second match. They won the first one with a 2-0 map score. If they win this one too, then they are already guaranteed to get out of the group. Nobody is going to be able to catch up with them. They will make it out of the group. The question then is just simply, will they take top seed or will they take second place? But currently, at least, they're doing a fantastic job here. 4 shots fired against the blue team, 8 against their opponents, so an advantage for Sweden. And they will soon now grab level 7, and the talent advantage might allow them to engage further, but they're not even waiting for it. They find a Tracer, and they just crush her. Absolutely crush her. Tracer got... she literally just walked into the wrong direction for a moment, and a second later she disappeared. The coordination is absolutely on point, and especially My F is murdering it. Nice combo. Murden, nearly dead, has to retreat, which means they have only 2 defenders at the bot lane now. That's an opportunity that the Swedes are not going to pass on. They are coming in with some extra damage. They're taking the bell tower, as you can see, down to now 60%, 70% HP. But what a great start for the Swedish team. The blue team going again for their pumpkin camp. And of course, keep in mind that now we're in this awkward situation where the red team's camp is spawning a little bit too late. So if they lose this fight now, they could lose another camp too. They are being aggressive because they realize they gotta do something. They can't just sit back now and let this play out all day, every day. They have to eventually make an aggressive move and take a bit of a risk to try and close that gap. It's not going to be easy for them. The tethers are happening here as Skog is trying to set another kill up for the team, but this time Li Ming might be the one in trouble. Tracer coming in, trying to get the kill. Jia made it out. Good for him. 30 hit points left towards the end of that fight. And Chinatown is getting targeted as the red team is trying to escape from the fight. Not possible for Murden. He's getting destroyed and Tracer gets murdered once again. She's not going to be the only one. Crosby realizes he's not going to survive this either. Trying to go for a bit of a B-step. But now they're moving in for Malfurion. And holy hell, what an absolute disaster for the Danish team. This is a slaughter. Sweden is going through Denmark like hot butter through cheese as they are taking kill after kill. Put 9 on the board against the 0 that we see for the red team. And now we have a bell tower converted. 5 minutes into the game, another 5 shots fired. The core down to 23 points. And this is just disastrous. Denmark, they need to really go ham at this point. They get a kill. They finally get a kill. Well, that helps them a little bit, but they need to do a whole lot more than that. There's even pumpkins that are now going to move towards the core and get additional 3 shots fired. So the core drops down to 20. Denmark needs to find kill opportunities, and they need to get them quickly. Currently, they can't do really anything on the map because there's level 10 for the opponent's team. But they're already threatening Leoric again up at the top. Down here at the bottom of the map, the cocoon on Murden. Yeah, if they can time this properly, he's dead. He's definitely dead. He doesn't stand a chance there. Murden gets absolutely blown up. They were all just waiting. And this could be used by my F2. She didn't have to. They just used the lurking arm and destroyed him. And now we're looking at 10 kills to 1. 1.5 level lead. At least the top wall got destroyed by Denmark, so they took some structures down. But what a game by Sweden. We had in every single group so far one team that really excelled. We had the Germans win Group A with 6 maps to 0. We had the Russians take it with 6 maps to 0. France won their group without losing a single map. And now Sweden is going to try to do the exact same thing. There were a couple of very strong second places as well. So once that we're heading into the final 8 teams, it will be very, very cool to see everybody fight for those 4 spots at the offline event. But Denmark is still trying to fight for victory here, and as they should. If they can claim a win in game number 2 and force game number 3, that will go a long way for them. But they're losing more heroes down here. 3 shots have been fired by Urel as she channeled the top right. Leoric got the top left and was another 5 against the red team, so they're now down to 15 points on their core. Could be a lot less in just a few seconds since more pumpkins are getting escorted through. And yep, these bad boys make it in, and that drops the core down to 12, meaning they're getting closer and closer to single digits on the core. 11 kills to 2, talent advantage in their hands. And at the top, they're going for Leo again. He gets bullied around a little bit. Still connected the drain with Crosby. And nobody is even coming to assistance. He's just trying to waste their time here a bit, as the rest of the blue team is at the bottom of the map going for another pumpkin camp, giving them more experience. And a 3rd hero even moving towards the top in an attempt to take Svamgrota down. I guess he's gonna die now that he ate the Stormbolt. Gia's coming in, attempting to get revenge, and gets it! Takes down Sylvanas, wants to go for Muradin, and with that little reset, it was nearly possible. If the cooldowns come back, he might still have a chance here. But Malfurion popping the ult even, and Gia is still moving out. At the bottom of the map, they're escorting pumpkins in again. Li Ming dies. But these 3 could escort another 3 pumpkins towards the core, which means that now there's only 9 points remaining for Denmark on their core. Single altar spawning on the map, and Li Ming will be back in time to fight for it. Here comes the disc against Urel. Ult was already popped. That's a nice cooldown exchange. That's a really nice cooldown exchange. 2 minutes on Urel's ult. Very bad news for the objective. They're trying to get a kill before Li Ming is back to business, but it's not happening. Instead, Honestly, for just a second, it looked like Tracer might be the one to fall here. Chiazeka is channeling though, and gets it. Nice. Gets the channel, so that allows them to prolong the game a bit further. Mirrodin, not out of harm's way yet though. Ooh, Tracer, careful, honey. She's in trouble. Tracer, yeah, she's alive, but Crosby is dead. Sylvanas is gone. At least Tracer gets the counter kill on Maiev, but then a moment later, look at those resets. Gia with kills. Nice. He gets Tracer. He goes for Mirrodin with the help of Stukov, takes him down. Now another interrupt as the jump was just happening with the Wave of Force, but they are crushing it. Level 16 available now for Sweden. Allows them to go for the epicenter over here. In regards to damage, we are looking by now on 35,000 damage for Li Ming. She's top damage in the game. Second place is Sylvanas with 32,000. And off we go. We get down here. Yep, the hits happening on the camp. What is the mercenary experience for them? I mean, seriously, they've pretty much taken... Look at this! They haven't taken a single camp! Not one! The red team, after 10-11 minutes of play, haven't gotten a single mercenary camp. Not a single one. Which is crazy. All of those pumpkin camps at the bottom were consistently taken by Sweden. Finally, they might be able to grab a camp. But with 9 points on the core, if they are not able to retake that bell tower, then 2 altars channeled by Sweden would end the game in favor of the blue team. Off we go. Next fight is happening. Cocoon is out. Leo is at the top, by the way. They don't need that additional bell tower, though. Disc is missing. Still some pumpkins down at the bottom of the map. Result is the same. Even if the pumpkin makes it through, 2 altars are ending the game. And now they're ending the life of Mirrodin and Malfurion. And this is a bit of a disaster. The channel has at least happened at the bottom, so they now have to get both at the top if they want to win. The Swedes, that is. And they're pushing them out as we speak. Channeling the one on the left side is not going to be a problem whatsoever. This one already aiming for a double channel. Sylvanas with an interrupt, but yep, there's the sneaky play by Baby Houdini. In comes Lauber! And he's too late! Oh boy, the spray being used. Baby Houdini with the big boy plays. Yep, very cheeky play. Gets the cheeky tower, but the problem is that not only does the bell tower in the mid lane get converted, Leo is working on the one at the top that would start the barrage. They could go for the boss as well. The game is still going to end in favor of Sweden, but at least he's making them work for it. So here we are. We get the conversion up at the top. The shots are being fired, and that means that the red team is losing this series, this match, without winning a map. Tracer down, Stukov dies. The final shot is fired, and that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. A 2-0 victory for Sweden. They are 4-0 in the group now. GG. Well played. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.